Christmas is here, let's have a beer.
Oh, guys, hey,
I was just practicing for the Christmas pageant.
this year.
Around this time of year, I like to watch Christmas movies to get in the spirit. Don't say it's dumb, guys. Come on. Do you guys hear something? I think I hear something in the distance. What is that? What is that? Do you guys hear that?
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
It's Joe time.
And then last night...
So that's right, guys. Today, we have what we call a Joe check, okay?
Joe Chan!
Here we Joe.
Generally speaking,
Chinese people look Chinese.
You know, if you go to China, generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese. They, you know, that's just generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
What does that tell you? It says, generally speaking,
Chinese people look Chinese.
Exactly. I really agree with Joe on that one. General So speaking, Chinese people look Chinese. Joe Rogan, you gotta love him. His favorite movie is the 1986 John Carpenter classic, Big Trouble in Little...
Chinese people look Chinese.
Joe Rogan still got a huge, massive audience, only getting bigger. And he's a hilarious and fascinating character because it's like, we don't need to go to school. Okay, we could just watch Joe Rogan. We've gotten some amazing gems of wisdom from Joe Rogan. Of course, generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese that's changed my life. But we got a new generally speaking from Joe.
Like, generally speaking, like, that is not a good person to breed with. Like, this is not a good specimen.
Who?
Yeah.
You know?
So, like, the natural instincts.
Oh, Gina Carano?
Yes.
Oh, that's not
in a
nice,
world
bro.
where that...
So, guys, no problem. You know, our country's still having a sane one. Everything's okay. No problem. It's all good. Things are moving forward. You know, a lot of people miss the seventh commandment. I bet you can't think of it right now, you know? But if you open your Bible and you look at it, it clearly states,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
He goes on and on. We have to remember the true meaning of Easter, which is portrayed in the films of Mel Gibson, okay? Where Jesus was up on that cross, you know, and he looked up at God and he said,
Chinese people look Chinese.
So guys, this coordinated, inauthentic behavior has really distracted us from the fact that...
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Exactly. I really agree with Joe on that one. General So speaking, Chinese people look Chinese. That's what I think. And Joe Rogan reveals something very fascinating in this interview, which is that...
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Wow. Is that true? Is that true? Does he have sources to back that up?
You should not be the person that talks to children about this, especially if you're a fucking history teacher. Chinese people look Chinese.
Sorry. Who's that? That's Ronnie D. That's Joe Rogan's guy.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe. Maybe we could talk to him about that. Hey, at this point, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I wonder what I gave my kid up for adoption, but I wonder what they look like. I wonder what my kid looks like. And there's only one rule I know to go by, what my kid might look like.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Yes, that's right. To quote the great Joe Rogan. I love Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's just like, I do scams. I do scams and I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore. He looks in the mirror, he says that every day. Then he says,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
He just has to remind himself of that every day, just so he doesn't forget.
Is acceptable in the least to the Grinches, and the Grinch was in fact green when confronted by the crisis they created.
Good job.
Remember.
Good, that's true, Jordy. The Grinch was green. Never thought of it that way. I never looked at it that way, Jordy. There's one thing I would like to add to that.
Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Thank you. What? And the show should be retitled too. It's not the Joe Rogan Experience. It'll be called Joe Rogan Remembers. You little shit. Well, guys, if that didn't put you in the Christmas spirit, you're mentally ill, you know? But guys, that's the message. Unless you're jumping around and making a complete fool of yourself on Christmas, you're probably ruining it for everyone, you. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever, all other crap. Love you guys so much. And bye-bye.